Hello friends, welcome back to episode number 5 of Noobs in Disguise. My name is Harstem, and today I'm joined once again by my good friend Lambo. What's up, buddy?
Hello, I'm very excited since we have a PvP today. The revenge for the ZVZ I made you watch, and yeah. I'll see if this one is more exciting than the ZVZ. I'll judge harshly.
The bar is being set very low here today, I already hear. The submitter of the day is called Zoomer External, or at least that's the name the anonymizer gave to our blue Protoss player over here. The bottom left Protoss were the instructions that I got in the email that had everything anonymized. And we're already seeing a little bit of a semi-max specs clone over here, like a low ground pylon, not entirely in the correct position, but I think the overall thinking here, max specs would approve, definitely. Now low ground gateway, we see a fast nexus at 20 supply. Ooh, max specs watching this is going to be very happy.
Yeah, for sure. He also was half a probe ahead because his opponent typed out good luck fun and it took him 10 seconds. So Motivate started playing the game 10 seconds in, I paid attention to it. It took him a while, maybe to find the enter key for the good luck fun, but...
It's the little details that do it often in these games. I had not noticed. Interesting move here as well out of Motivate is putting his pylon in a position that is kind of the middle of the road. Often in real life, the middle of the road solution is considered the correct one, right? You know, you have one extreme and then another extreme, and then they'll find a compromise in the middle. In StarCraft 2, it often means that you're just wrong both ways. So this pylon doesn't really spot anything on the far end. It doesn't provide a fast warp-in spot, and it also doesn't allow you to build a battery in your mineral line. So it really, it misses all of the checkboxes, basically, of what a pylon is supposed to be doing. So not entirely ideal here in the early game for our red Protoss player. The one thing that is nice, though, is that the adepts are actually out at a very proper timing here. They ended up coming out at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which is pretty much perfect.
Pretty much perfect. He also did not scout at all, so... he has no clue that his opponent actually went for a 1-gate expand. I have the feeling these adepts are going to do a whole bunch of damage because there is no wall for these. And Zoomer External is... I mean... he's not going in?
No, he's giving the opponent a chance. Actually, this was really cool because this looked a little bit silly, but we're going to... Wait, okay, never mind. Maybe it's just a little bit silly. I thought what he did was that he walked in and then realized that whenever you shade, you're kind of supposed to walk away. So he actually... wanted to make the correct move by walking away while shading in. So that's why he didn't just straight up walk in, which, it's an understanding of a higher level game. He's shading around at a pretty high pace. There's really not that much macro behind it, though. I don't think I've seen a worker produced in the past minute, perhaps. I mean, we're at 23 workers, which is the worker count you're at once your core finishes, pretty much, right? You're 23 out of 23 supply blocked. So, yeah, it's been a minute and 45 seconds right now. No worker.
Yeah, could be on purpose though, since he's going for the 4-gate blink follow-up. Spoiler alert, it's probably not on purpose. He definitely was preoccupied with that micro on the other side.
Thanks for clarifying.
Since he is chrono boosting now, yeah. Oh, and the Stargate as well. He saved up nicely for that.
Yeah, getting a lot of tech here. I do like the double adept follow-up as well. I was like, that worked pretty well for my opponent. Let's see how well I can do it. So he shades in. Doesn't quite deal as much damage, but... is still way up in workers anyway. 4 workers, well, way up. 4 workers, that's a significant amount actually. The problem though for External here is that he doesn't have that much, well, he has a little bit of money, but he doesn't have any tech, he doesn't have any of the infrastructure that his opponent has yet. As Motivate, like you mentioned already, has the 4 gateways, has a Twilight on the way, which could start Blink, could start Charge. It is going to be Blink. Not a huge fan of the Stargate. I'm not entirely sure what it's for either. Perhaps this is a read in which Motivate is like, wait, there was very little in your main base. There must be something hidden. Maybe I want Phoenixes to deal with a proxy oracle of some kind. I don't necessarily think that is a very good move, but often at lower levels, even if it's not the optimal move, I still like, if people know that they suck against oracles, if they then, as a response to oracles, always get Phoenixes, despite it not being optimal, it might be the correct play for them. So in that regard, I sometimes can kind of, I can allow it.
In that regard. Sometimes kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his target did finish up at 5 minutes, so I'm not sure if it would be in time for the proxy oracle.
Well, if
or
the
first
proxy
2
oracle
or 3 oracles.
5 minutes in, who knows?
I mean, he's getting his own Oracle now. I honestly wonder if at this level or below, playing Adepts is good, because I feel like the Adept should always get in. So my first instinct would be, okay, I would always go double Adept if I was a Diamond, if I was a Platinum Protoss player playing PvP. But they're actually hard to control, right? And they also mess up the macro themselves. So I'm not quite sure on that.
Yeah.
Because usually I don't see them use them.
Yeah, it might be the same with like the Terran player who, you know, micros his Reaper and kills 5 workers but is floating 9k behind it. It is a very micro-intensive unit. And my brother actually is a Diamond player, and I've asked him about the depths, and he told me that, well, he hasn't played too many games of Legacy of the Void yet, so he doesn't like building these fun, fancy units. He tells me the same about the Oracle, though. He also hasn't played a lot of Heart of the Swarm.
I think your brother might just not be playing a lot of StarCraft.
Yeah, he hasn't played too many games. At least not recently, but 10, 11 years ago, he was a true grinder in the Platinum Diamond League, wherever he was. Oracle did get a lot of kills, though. 10 kills, so the Stargate did pay off. Now, the follow-up here is going to be double Robo. So it's Blink into Oracle into double Robo. There is a single Forge. I think he's also... No, he hasn't actually spotted the double Forge of his opponent yet. But there's a third Nexus done for Motivate. I really like the position here for a Red Protoss player. And it is perhaps possible that for the first time ever, we're gonna have someone submitting a replay that they lost.
Yeah, hold your horses. It's we're not quite there yet. I mean, External does have a double Forge going for him. And even though he lost a lot of workers, he's still somewhat keeping up. He definitely is better in producing workers overall. He also is saving up a lot of Chrono Boost to come back into this. He has a full 200 energy on 2 Nexus, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is great. You can definitely use that later on in the game once he starts his 2-2 upgrades. Those are the ones you truly want to Chrono Boost most of the time.
Because they take longer, so it's they take longer, so it's more efficient to Chrono those.
Exactly. Although in another way, you could say that the percentage increase of when it finishes is way better for a +1. So there's many ways you can look at this problem.
Well, maybe they don't know how it works. Maybe they think it's just a % increase in general, and then they think it's more efficient to upgrade the.
That's true.
To save the chrono for the 2-2 and the 3-3.
For the longer upgrades, he only chronos his carriers and his mothership and his 2-2 and 3-3 upgrades. I like the thought of that. We also see the opponent not chrono boosting the charge here, but lots of upgrades are coming down for Motivate, who definitely seems to be the more well-rounded player, as in that he seems to build more units, more different types of units. So far, External has built mainly Stalkers and Immortals, and Motivate, as a Void Ray, an Oracle, an Adept, 14 Stalkers in his army. I kind of like that, just building a composition that consists of multiple units. I like the thought of that. This feels like a very basic level game, though. Not like a lot more basic than anything we've seen before.
Yes, I think this has to be the lowest level of gameplay so far. Lower than the Protoss with 0 APM consistently. They both also have below 100 average APM, so this is going to be interesting in the gas later on. I mean, he is pressuring right now with the Stalker Immortal. His army is definitely better, even though Motivate, as you said, has the more sophisticated army. I'm not sure the Void Rays here are as good as the Stalkers and the Immortals.
I think these Immortals didn't shoot a single time in the fight.
It's possible.
Because he was move commanding around and then right-clicking on the Void Ray every single time with everything. So the 2 Immortals of External, I don't think actually one shot.
Now here's a question. If you move command or if you A-move on a Void Ray with an Immortal, does it start shooting only once it's right below the Void Ray or once it's in attack range? Because I feel like it should still A-move, no?
I think it's still A-moves. I think he was right-clicking probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, that's significantly worse, of course.
Yeah.
He's also still on 2 base, but he's macroing quite nicely now. And he has sick upgrades going.
Yeah. His 2-2 is about to finish. Shield upgrades as well, which is absolutely banging. Cheeky snipe there on the battery. Man, he's rotating like a madman over here. Archons coming in will be kind of useful here against a massive Immortal Stalker army. Except the Archons are currently just kind of chilling behind the other units. And usually their role is to tank. It's not quite what they're doing right now. I love that Motivate's already taking a fort base as well, despite the pressure that's being put on, mind you. Like, this is a stressful game. Usually people fall apart, but Motivate seems pretty okay. It's adding in cannons, getting a dark, trying to DT is good for the defense, fort base good for the economy. I like where his head is at.
Yeah, he's spending his money nicely. I mean, it's better than just having the money in the bank, so that's pretty good. Also, his army composition. I feel like players at this level should just make chargers instead of stalkers, because they're better in the A-move type of scenarios, but both of them are working with very stalker-heavy armies. I don't think Motivate has Blink. Oh no, they both do have Blink now, so they're just not using it.
Yeah. He keeps hold positioning his army and then losing a couple of stalkers or an immortal or something else. These trades haven't been so great for Motivate. Still do believe that he is fairly ahead, but he's also down 3 upgrades. He's going to be down 5 upgrades, by the way, if these upgrades continue and Motivate doesn't start anything on his own side of the map.
Yeah. Oh, he's chrono boosting the 3/3 upgrades. I told you. This guy knows. This guy knows the tricks.
I'm so sad I barely missed that. This is an interesting little fight here. Super Battery does get activated, as this Archon is now indeed in tanking mode. Immortal's losing so much DPS by both players, by the way, just moving around. Feels like a regular A move might have just been a little bit better, honestly, on both sides. Although External is just pushing in and out, every now and again sniping a unit. Here we go, still kiting, while spending his money as well. This is actually kind of important to mention. 9 gateways and 7 gateways respectively, and yet their money seems to be relatively low after the warp in. Oh, good blink forward. The control of external is actually quite nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He's moving into this base here, and these shield batteries are depleted. His army is just better, simply because of the upgrades, and also at this point because he just has more. Those stalkers still derping around. Man, those zealots are so effective. I think just having more zealots could save Motivate here, who now also warped in DTs. I don't think there's detection. Do we have detection here?
No, I don't think there's detection. I'm not sure if he realizes yet. Surely at this point he does. I'm in first person mode. Okay, now he's like, all right, that was weird. All my units disappeared. Let me start an observer. He dropped severely in supply though. Is way down. The only thing keeping him alive right now are these upgrades, which are, by the way, some of the fastest upgrades I've ever seen, despite the lack of willingness to chrono boost the forges multiple times. The rumor on the street is that they've been chrono boosted once, but no one except for you saw it.
I swear it. I swear it.
All right, buddy. This is like the kid in high school when you were 13 who had like a girlfriend that lived in Canada. It's like, all right, buddy.
Oh, not the girlfriend in Canada. Hey, that would be a weird statement for me since I live in Germany. But
yeah, but the further away, the better, so no one can check it, you know? It's a safe one.
That's true, that's true.
Is he getting Storm?
I mean,
or why is this Templar here? Maybe to feed back the sentry?
It's possible. There is no sentry. He probably just warped in one DT to one High Templar to me. Do you think he realized he can morph an Icon with a High Templar and DT?
I don't know. I feel like lower level players would actually know this because this seems like some type of lore fact. And I feel like lower level players are like true lore enjoyers majority of the time. So I feel like he's definitely aware of that. It's like maybe he also watches like these fact videos, you know, like, did you know 3 things you didn't know about StarCraft 3? And he's like, oh, I click that. Have a quick look at that. And he's like, oh, Templar and a Dark Templar. That's cool. Now the High Templar died, so there's no point anymore. Double observers on the way for Motivate, who is, I'm not sure if he's struggling to stay alive, but it's not an easy hold here, that's for sure.
It is not, is it not? He also is working with DTs, which are not very good against Blink Stalkers. They honestly, if micro correctly, they just shouldn't be able to swipe away at these Stalkers. He now has a double observer. Maybe he can snipe the observer of External. Nope. It goes the other way around. Both observers go down instantly. Blink forward. I mean, there's not that much range DPS. There's no Immortals left here for Motivate. But the Stalkers do get in some decent damage, and he's obviously way outmining his opponent. It's just, those trades are so efficient from External here.
So some of the movement is just so odd with the Stalkers and the Immortal, where I feel like the idea of the kiting is there, but then the timing isn't quite accurate. I feel like a lot of damage output is being lost because of that. And Motivate, the absolute eco-beast that he is still outmining his opponent severely, but without upgrades, I mean, this is like walking into a meat grinder and doesn't really have anything to stop it. And he's warping in Stalkers against Stalkers, Stalkers against an Immortal. This is not looking so great anymore, Lambo.
It's not looking so great anymore. I wish he would just use his robos. He's making cannons right now and extra gateways. And, well, he is using the robos now, but he's using them for observers. Please make immortals. They're better than Void Race against stalkers.
This guy has a one-track mind, and it's all about sniping that observer and staying alive with the DTs. It worked once, and it's gonna work again at some point. I love that he has a Void Ray as well, like air unit to kill the observer. I can chase. That sounds freaking good. Uh-oh. Both of his observers are being rallied to their death immediately, though. At the same time, a base trade happening here. Look at that. DT drop on the other side. He's gonna maybe go for the robo snipe.
Yeah, he can go for the robo snipe. There's only one observer, so actually, if he snipes the observer now on the other side, he has a win condition here. That's a crazy Artosis pylon. That's like 80% of the structures. Yeah.
5 gates, 2 forges, a twilight, and a robotics facility, all powered by a single pylon there. Meanwhile, in the natural, we have infinite pylons powering an assimilator. Oh, here he goes. Where's the observer? Where's the observer of external? Oh, it's above the army.
On top of the army, yeah. What? He's flying into the cannons. It's a move forward. He's definitely not babysitting it. Motivate. Oh, no, the cannon is shooting it. Oh, it retargeted automatically on the A moving units because the observer doesn't have an auto attack. Maybe now on the way back. Motivate, please. I can't believe it. The observer lives with orange hit points. That's crazy.
Oh no. But it's okay. The game is not necessarily over yet. There's still 3 cannons. There's 2 cannons.
There's cannons on the other side still, and he's making new ones. I mean, if you actually focus fires the observer, External showed that he had no idea how to micros observer in the first place, because you would think he already realized that he needs to babysit this, but this observer was not babysat during the last engagement, so I highly doubt it will be babysat when he's running into the 3rd base, or well, 4th.
Oh my. Okay, there's not enough money here for External to build a robo and another observer. There's not enough money to build a nexus. That means that this is truly the last thing. A thing that External could do, by the way, is just go home.
Recall, yeah.
You could just literally recall. I was in base trade mode, so I was like, oh! But now you can actually just go home. And it's fine. If he loses both of his nexus, though, that's not the case anymore. I think that should be the priority here for Motivate. Yeah.
What are the DTs doing on the other side? They're very indecisive. Okay, now they're targeting down the net. Surely you should go after the Nexus, not after the pylons.
He probably thinks there's a robo proxied on the map, though. I kind of understand that. This observer is stressing me out so much. Holy crap. Just put it in observer mode, please.
Oh my god, it's very... If you're motivated as well, I feel like you should focus fire this. I don't care what skill level you are, but you have to realize that this is your win condition at this point.
Yeah.
You're not gonna beat the army with cannons. Oh, he's focus firing! Yes! He got it! He's got it!
Okay, now we recall. Right? Recall 2 DTs? Or 1?
Well, one of the DTs is completely AFK. Oh my god, is he gonna lose all the buildings first? Okay, the DT starts swiping. It would be... Okay, he's recalling 3 DTs. No, he still has 1 DT.
The Nexus side!
Oh my god! I can't believe it. He still has 800 minerals. Run away with the probes! Run away with the probes, please! You can make so many structures still.
Okay, he's sending a DT back. He's sending all DTs back. That's the correct move here, right? Yeah.
No, I mean, it's not. The other guy could recall probes still as well.
Yeah, but there's Zealots.
Mine for a pylon.
Zealots going into the main base, and DT's coming back home. This is an absolute base race right now. Okay, what is the army count? We have 10 Stalkers and 2 Immortals versus 5 DTs. I mean, the DTs just... surely they slash this quick enough, right?
I mean, theoretically, the Stalkers should always win this. It's really not that many structures anymore. Motivate has 1 probe still. I really don't think he realizes, because if this one goes to the other side of the map, hides a Nexus, or even just makes assimilators, I feel like he is going to win 100%, but it's going to die now to the Stalkers, maybe not.
Okay, if he splits the DTs, though, surely there's no way here that External is going to be controlling 2 groups of Stalkers at the same time. Like
I mean, his entire army is AFK while he's microing the 2 Stalkers. I feel like it would be really more important if the Immortal and the rest of the Stalkers start attacking. Even the probes should start attacking at this point, honestly.
Oh, no. Well, 4 Zealots on the other side are going pretty ham. Right now, Motive...
You make the Nexus right there, I can't believe it.
No!
He's gonna go there anyways, because there's still a pylon there, so that's the dumbest location to make the Nexus in.
I have absolutely no clue. Okay, so we have how many buildings left here for Motivate? We have 2 pylons, 1 gateway. That gateway is about to fall. DTs are coming in right now. Probes are being pulled. Stalker has found the Nexus. Oh no. There's no more probe remaining right now. Otherwise, I thought maybe you could still cancel the Nexus and start building a simulator somewhere else. I mean, this is just going to be it, surely. These DTs, yeah, they can't do it, right? It's not possible.
I don't think they can kill the Stalkers in time. There's so many probes as well that will get damage on the Nexus. At this point, obviously, canceling is out of the question as there's no more probe and no more building as well. And the Stalkers can theoretically also just infinitely micro. I have no clue why the probes are going back.
Hey,
I mean, he also doesn't know. He also doesn't know this is the last building, of course. So he doesn't want to sack his entire army. He's microing it very nicely with the Stalkers. And that's it. External with the base trade win.
Almost the first game in which the submitter had lost. This is a theoretical loss in my mind. A theoretical loss. Theoretical. We will count this as a loss for the first submitter. Man, this was a crazy game. This is what I've been saying for years, though, is I think that legitimately lower level games are just significantly more entertaining than higher level games. Mistakes make the game, Lambo.
Oh. They are. I think so too. I mean, the game is never over. You never know who's winning. It doesn't matter if the one guy is 100 supply up.
Yeah.
Or in this case, 6 upgrades. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it has some elements of a casino, like a roulette table in there as well. It's just fabulous. All right, let's get into the guessing phase here. I think I should probably start this time around. And I'll give you a rundown of what my actual thoughts are here. All right? Let's think for a second. I still believe this is the worst game we've seen so far. I think the calls were largely incorrect. The fact that one player didn't recognize the win condition for a very long time, despite knowing that DTs are invisible, kind of makes me believe that we're dealing with a 2850 here.
2850. Okay, I think it's maybe low platinum. Now, the thing is, I never know the MMR ranges of the leagues. I think it's even lower than what you said. I'm going with the 2,650.
2,000?
That's my guess.
650.
Yeah.
And I said 2,800, right?
2,850, you said.
The blue bottom left Protoss is 2,292 MMR.
We always go too high, man. There's this one guy that gave the advice that you should always go lower than what we think.
Yeah, I should listen to him than what I thought, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
I was thinking 3K.
No, I was thinking exactly that.
Minus 800 maybe. Oh, boy. This was a rough one. It's from the NA
so
server as well. And the submitter was called Roblox Puracell. So that's very cool. Thank you for submitting. Also, thank you, before I forget, to Simple Geometry for always anonymizing those replays for us and actually picking the replays. As you might have noticed, the quality of the games has increased since we've watched the ZVZ a couple of weeks back. I was like, this is never doing this again. And we got Simple Geometry. So shout out to him. And I think that's going to be it for this episode, Lambo. Do you have anything else perhaps you want to mention?
Of course, I want to give a shout out to one of my new favorite shows, which is called Who Wants to Be a Grandmaster on the Harstem channel, where, I think it's like a game show with 4 different games where you had Loco on as the first guest and I played along as well. It was quite fun. So you guys can click on it.
Quite
and
fun.
I think
it was
very fun. It was life-changing. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's honestly a great show.
Sell out. It was all right.
For my levels, that means quite a lot. Okay. I mean, if the people don't know me, that's a huge compliment coming from me.
All right, perfect. Well, if you want to see a show that is quite fun, be sure to check that out. And otherwise, you can always wait for next week's episode of the Harambo channel, Noobs in Disguise. This is going to be it for this week. Be sure to check out all the other episodes we've already done in the past if you haven't yet. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. And we'll see all of you next time. Adios.